Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are tackling a challenge I know many of you face. You need modern, really state-of-the-art security, but the thought of tearing out everything you already have, your CCTVs, maybe older alarm sensors, access control,
Yeah,
it's just too much.
it really is. It's that classic sunk cost dilemma, and it's huge for so many organizations. You've poured money into these systems over years, maybe even decades.
Right.
And fundamentally, they're reactive. They often just can't keep up with today's threats. So the idea of a full rip and replace is always just not feasible financially or logistically.
Exactly. So our mission in this deep dive is to unpack how these AI-enabled sensor platforms can act like a smart brain layered right on top of what you already own. We're going to explore how you can combine physical sensors, yes, even those older cameras, with really cutting-edge software to basically transform your systems, moving from just recording things after they happen.
To actually preventing them. And look, this integration strategy, it really is a game changer. Because it often means that massive upfront cost for all new hardware, it's just not necessary.
Okay.
This approach lets you leverage those existing assets, the things you already paid for, and it seriously lowers the barrier to adopting AI.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing data now showing this integration approach can cut those modernization costs by up to, get this, 75% compared to starting from scratch.
Wow, 75%. That's a colossal number. And it really highlights that core idea. You don't have to buy all new gear to get smart security.
You absolutely don't. And the tech that makes this work, fundamentally, is that the best modern AI video analytics, they're designed to be camera-agnostic.
Camera-agnostic, meaning?
Meaning they're built to plug into almost anything. It doesn't matter if you have newer IP camera feeds or those, older analog CCTV ones. The system doesn't really care about the brand or how old it is. It just layers its intelligence right onto the video feed itself. So that old tech gets entirely new capabilities. It's pretty amazing, actually.
Okay, let's dig into that. But first, maybe let's ground ourselves in the problem a bit more. Why exactly are these legacy systems failing? What are the pain points driving this need for AI?
Well, the limitations are pretty stark when you look closely.
Yeah.
Let's start with just basic physical coverage.
Okay.
Let's call it the problem of blind spots. Your fixed cameras, they're just static observers, right? They're not active.
Yep.
They inevitably create dark zones, areas they just don't see.
And criminals know this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They learn these gaps quickly and exploit them. Think about those really big areas, loading docks, sprawling storage yards, or maybe the biggest one, large parking facilities.
Right, parking lots. And the statistics on crime there are, frankly, pretty eye-opening.
They really are. These huge, often poorly monitored spaces, they're just magnets for trouble. It's actually a shocking fact.
Yeah.
U.S. parking lots and garages. They're the third most common location for all reported crimes.
Third most common.
Yep. Accounting for over 2 million crimes every year. Just think about that number. It breaks down to roughly one criminal incident every 15 seconds, somewhere in the country, in a parking structure.
Every 15 seconds.
So if your security system is static, if that camera simply isn't pointed the right way when something happens, well, the system has fundamentally failed. It missed the event entirely.
That's a huge failure rate just based on coverage. But even if the camera is pointed correctly, we hit that second, maybe more insidious problem, human fatigue.
Ah, yes. The human element. The science on this, on human monitoring capability, is just incredibly clear. We ask security operators to sit there and stare at multiple screens for hours on end.
It's the standard setup.
It is. But humans are just physiologically incapable of maintaining that level of vigilance. Research shows that after only 20 minutes, just 20 minutes of continuous viewing, a human operator is likely to miss up to 95% of activity happening on those screens.
Wait, hang on. 95%? Did I hear that right?
95, yes.
So if I've got a guard watching, say, 8 cameras overnight, after maybe their first coffee break, they're essentially blind to almost everything happening. That really puts the failure of manual monitoring into terrifying perspective.
It really does. And look, it's not about blaming the guard. It's a biological limitation. It's just how our attention works.
And this, of course, leads to missed responses, delayed alerts. It leads straight into what we call the reactive trap.
Explain that trap.
Traditional systems, they only react after something bad has happened. The camera records the break-in or the theft, sure. But it's only forensic evidence at that point. You're just documenting the loss.
You're not preventing it.
Exactly. You're not stopping it in its tracks.
And we're paying enormous amounts of money for this essentially documented failure.
Precisely. Especially when you look at traditional methods like physical guards. they're incredibly expensive. A single 247 guard post can easily cost well over $100,000 a year.
Per post. Per post. And yet, they're still subject to the fatigue and the failures we just talked about. Yep. It's why you hear that blunt summary in the security industry all the time. Guards are in short supply, traditional alarms are unreliable, and manual monitoring is ineffective. It's a tough spot.
Okay, so that vacuum, that inefficiency, that's precisely where this idea of an AI digital security workforce comes in. You describe them as intelligent software components acting like intelligent glue.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, they integrate with and basically supercharge the devices you already have. They provide the perception, the analysis, the decision-making that humans and old systems just can't consistently deliver.
All right, let's break down these AI agents. What's the first one?
So the first one directly tackles those blind spots we mentioned. It's the AI inspector with Sentry Mode.
Okay, and what's fascinating, you said this works with existing cameras. How does the AI actually, take control of hardware that might be pretty old?
Yeah, it communicates directly using the camera's own control protocols. So it turns what was a passive lens into an active automated patrol. This agent specifically takes control of your existing pan-tilt zoom cameras, your PTZs.
The ones that can move around.
Exactly. Instead of that PTZ just sitting there, pointed in one direction until a human manually moves it, the AI autonomously directs it. It follows preset, optimized patrol routes, scanning the area constantly.
And if it sees something?
If it detects an anomaly, maybe a car parked where it shouldn't be for too long, or someone loitering near a fence line, it automatically stops its patrol, zooms in to get a high-resolution look for verification, and it can even track that potential threat autonomously.
So you're taking a device that maybe a guard glanced at once an hour, if that, and turning it into this tireless 24/7 virtual patrol. It's actively covering that coverage gap, and crucially, without needing constant human intervention.
That's precisely its function, filling the gaps automatically.
Yeah.
Then next up, you've got the AI virtual guard. Think of this as the automated deterrence unit. This is all about taking action in real time.
And this is the agent that links up with things like existing speakers or lights, right?
Exactly. So when the AI inspector, or another detection mechanism, verifies a threat, let's say it sees someone actually climbing over your perimeter fence, the virtual guard instantly triggers connected devices.
Like what?
Could be turning on existing floodlights to illuminate the area and startle the intruder. Or, and this is really powerful, it can issue a custom voice down announcement through your existing PA system or dedicated speakers.
Voice down, like it talks to them.
Yes. The system instantly broadcasts a specific localized warning, something like, "You are trespassing on private property. Leave immediately. The authorities have been notified."
Wow, that changes the dynamic completely. You're not just passively recording someone breaking in. You're actively, yelling at them through your speakers.
And the impact is huge. Studies on live monitored voice down systems show they have a success rate around 92% in deterring intruders before things escalate, before damage is done. It turns your passive setup into a very active, very present deterrent.
92% deterrence. That's incredibly effective. Okay, so we've got automated patrol, automated deterrence. But sometimes events still happen, or maybe you just need to review footage for compliance or investigation. That brings us to the forensic detective agent.
Right, the AI investigator, which is often bundled with what's called Magic Search functionality. This tackles that incredibly painful, time-consuming task security teams hate, scrubbing through hours and hours of video footage.
Oh, yeah. Trying to find that one clip.
Exactly. This agent fundamentally changes how you do investigations. Instead of someone manually watching endless video, the investigator uses AI to sift through massive archives across potentially hundreds of cameras in seconds. And it uses natural language.
So you don't need to know the exact time something happened.
Nope. You can just type a query like you type into Google.
Yeah.
Show me all people wearing a red hoodie near the south entrance between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. Or find all delivery trucks that stopped at loading bay 3 yesterday.
The efficiency gain there must be enormous. Investigations that used to take, days maybe?
Easily. Full days sometimes, paralyzing a security team. Now, they can often be done in minutes. Some platforms estimate an 80 to 90% reduction in that video review time.
80 to 90%.
And what's really strategic here, again, is that this works by layering an AI index right on top of your existing recorded video. You don't necessarily have to change how or where you store your video footage. The AI just makes sense of it after the fact.
That indexing is the magic, then. Okay, so these software layers, these AI agents, they're incredibly powerful for upgrading what you already have. But it does raise a question. What about the physical gaps? The critical areas that never had power run to them or never had data lines, or maybe they're just too far away for traditional cabling.
Right, excellent point. The software makes your existing stuff smarter, yes. But true integration isn't just about software. Sometimes you do need to add hardware, but smart, deployable hardware designed to fill those specific physical gaps quickly and seamlessly.
So let's talk about those solutions. What do you do for sites that are genuinely off-grid? No power, no network connection?
Yeah, this is where we've seen a big rise in things like 4G solar cameras. These were literally engineered to solve that exact problem, unpowered and unconnected.
Okay, but how reliable are they? Can they really run high-res video continuously just on solar?
They're designed to operate completely wire-free.
Yeah.
They use high-efficiency solar panels coupled with internal battery storage, and they send their video and data back over the cellular network, 4G or LTE, usually.
So they're perfect for what kind of locations?
Think remote perimeter fences, large agricultural sites, maybe construction sites before utilities are fully in, even sprawling solar farms themselves where trenching new cable is just impossible or way too expensive. They basically extend your security net out to those critical, previously dark spots.
And the video feed just goes back to the main AI platform like any other camera.
Exactly. It routes back to the central AI for analysis, acting as a seamless but totally independent extension of your existing wired network.
Got it. Okay, then moving up the scale a bit, you have more robust, maybe temporary solutions. You mentioned things like Guardbox Air and Guardbox Pro units. What are those?
Think of these as compact mobile surveillance systems in a box. They're engineered for really rapid deployment. The Pro unit, for instance, it's often a complete package deal.
What's in the box, typically?
You might get a high-powered PTZ camera, maybe with like a 25x optical zoom, often paired with a wide-angle panoramic camera for constant situational awareness. Plus, crucially, they usually include a powerful deterrence mechanism.
Back to deterrence. You mentioned a 130 dB loudspeaker for one of these. What does 130 decibels actually sound like? If I'm someone trying to break in.
It's incredibly loud.
Yeah.
Painfully loud, actually. For comparison, a jet engine taking off about 100 feet away is around 120 dB. So 130 dB is well past the human threshold of pain. It's designed to be physically startling, disorienting, and absolutely impossible to ignore.
Okay, so definitely gets your attention.
Definitely. And the big advantage of these Guardbox units is just how easy they are to set up, often deployable in just minutes. They bring the AI processing and that active deterrence lights sound right to the edge wherever you need it. They're great for complementing fixed cameras at, say, high-risk construction site entrances or event perimeters.
And then for the really big jobs, massive areas, maybe temporary setups like festivals or huge infrastructure projects. You mentioned the heavy hitters, Alpha trailer, mobile surveillance trailers.
Right. These are the big guns. Large towable trailers, usually equipped with a tall mast, maybe 20, even 30 feet high. That height is essential for getting wide area coverage over vast open spaces. Think large parking lots during events or massive construction zones.
Gives you that bird's eye view.
Exactly. A high vantage point for huge detection fields. But the benefit isn't just the height, it's the flexibility. It really turns security into an elastic service.
Elastic? How so?
You can rapidly scale up security for a big event or during a particularly vulnerable construction phase.
Yeah.
You get that critical coverage when you need it most. And then you just hitch it up and relocate the entire asset to the next trouble spot. The expensive hardware doesn't just sit idle after the event is over.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so if we tie this all together, the AI software agents upgrading old gear, the deployable hardware, filling the physical gaps, it's about achieving this holistic synergy, right? Everything working together.
That's exactly the goal. The AI agents, the new deployable hardware, and your legacy systems, they all work in concert to produce genuinely better, measurable results.
Let's look at a real-world example, maybe retail. You mentioned earlier they're dealing with a huge surge in crime. Shoplifting losses alone, what was it, up 90% recently?
Yeah, 90% increase from 2019 to 2023. It's
Yeah.
a massive problem. And for retailers, speed is everything when an incident happens.
Right.
So layering that AI Investigator or Magic Search onto their existing cameras, the ones already covering the aisles and exits, allows their security team to instantly query for specific things like, show me anyone running towards the east exit wearing a blue jacket around 3 p.m.
Instead of watching hours of footage from multiple cameras.
Exactly. It drastically cuts down investigation time, which is vital for catching perpetrators, filing accurate police reports, handling insurance claims quickly, and potentially preventing future incidents.
And that proactive loop you talked about, the deterrence part, that really shines in something like a trespasser prevention scenario, right?
Absolutely. Let's picture, say, an industrial park at night. You've got an older fixed camera on the perimeter fence, something you've had for years.
Okay.
That camera's feed is now being watched by the AI. It detects intruders starting to climb the fence. Instantly, the AI virtual guard agent kicks in. It might trigger the existing alarm speaker system, the one that was maybe just used for general announcements before, to issue that targeted, loud voice-down warning. Maybe flash some connected security lights, too.
So you're intercepting the threat in real time.
In real time, often minutes before they could even reach a building or cause any damage. You're not just recording them succeeding, you're actively stopping them.
It really does sound like a force multiplier effect. The AI is doing the tireless watching, the constant analysis.
Without fatigue 24/7.
Right. It validates the threat, sends a concise alert, maybe a short video clip and description to the human guard.
Who isn't overwhelmed by false alarms or staring at dead air anymore.
And that guard can then focus their attention only on the actual validated threats that need a human response. It makes everyone more effective.
And look, this isn't just theory. It's proven in the field. We know of one major retailer, for instance, that saw really impressive results after integrating mobile AI units and analytics with their existing systems. They documented a 62% drop in violent crimes on their properties.
62%.
And a 66% decrease in inventory shrink, that's theft, basically. Those are huge, tangible results directly from intelligent integration.
That really brings us back to the core benefit for you, the listener, the person responsible for security. It really boils down to cost-effective modernization.
Absolutely.
You get to reuse so much of what you already own, those cameras, those speakers, saving potentially huge amounts of money while still getting truly state-of-the-art protection.
And maybe just as importantly, you're effectively future-proofing your investment. Because the core intelligence is in the software, right?
Right.
That means the system gets smarter over time. New features, better algorithms, they often come via simple software updates. Your main physical hardware investment is preserved, but your capabilities keep improving. This integration turns what might be a fragmented patchwork of different devices into one cohesive, constantly vigilant shield.
It really feels like the definitive shift, moving away from just passive monitoring towards truly active prevention.
It absolutely is. The technology is here. It's mature. It's proven. It's accessible.
Yeah.
So maybe the final thought, the provocative question we want to leave you with is this.
Take a hard look at your current security setup right now. What's the single most underutilized piece of infrastructure you already own? Maybe it's that old camera in a corner that barely gets looked at. Maybe it's an existing speaker system or an electronic gate that just opens and closes. Ask yourself, what could happen if you layered just a simple bit of AI intelligence onto that one piece? How quickly could you transform it from just a dumb receiver into a smart, proactive deterrent? Think about that immediate value you might be able to unlock, maybe even starting tomorrow.